Good morning. I'm excited to have Mook on our show today. Mook, also known as Michael Theodore, is the founder and owner of myElevation Wellness, a holistic wellness brand rooted in empowerment, education, and transformation. As a certified personal trainer, certified holistic nutrition coach, certified strength and functional coach, and corrective exercise specialist, Mook brings a multidimensional approach to fitness and health. His mission is to elevate lives through personalized wellness strategies that address the mind, body, and spirit. So, welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here.
All right. That was good. I like that one. That was good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you for having me. That was good. Thank you.
So let's just kind of jump in and start at the beginning because, I've known you for a couple years now, and I think as long as I've known you, you've shared like your vision of having your own space, your own gym, and building, a community that you really feel strong to lead in, but to build and have like-minded people there. So how long have you had that vision? And then what inspired you to create myElevation Wellness, which by the way is in Newington, Connecticut?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you. I've had that vision for years. I was working a corporate position for quite some time. After graduation from college, I worked as an electronics technician for about 4 to 5 years. Yeah, I have a degree in electronics and like engineering.
I had no idea.
yeah, and I hated it. So that's where it originally started. But my own personal wellness journey started with just the need for an outlet for myself to get myself and my mind and just my body and just my overall self in a better space. So it began there for me. And then through helping a variety of people over time, I just felt like, I knew what big box gyms were kind of already doing with trainers, just from being at the gym and working out and training myself. But I just knew that I didn't really want to be in the big box gym environment. If I had to do it, fine, for a time being and get the experience and learn, fine. But wanting to have my own gym, I knew I wanted to be a personal trainer first, but then I was like, well, where are you going to do it? Mm-hmm. And like, how is that? What's the end goal there? And to be fair, like, how was I going to sustain and, create a lifestyle that I can even, support myself with? And I said, maybe it'd be a gym. So I started like throwing the idea around my friends and stuff like that. And like over time, they started believing in it before I even started believing in it. They're like, yo, you're really, really good at what you do. Like, it's crazy how committed you are to your clients and training. So it went from there to like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and aim for having my own gym. And that vision was from the very first place I started doing personal training, corporate wise. I think I was in Cheshire, Connecticut, years and years and years ago. I knew I wanted to do that. I didn't know how long it was going to take me, but I was like, I want my own thing someday. I just knew I had to kind of be my own boss. So there was always a vision, and I patiently and respectfully just worked towards it. And here we are today.
That's exciting. And just so that our listeners know, you just moved into your new location. Got it up and off the ground, in April?
June. As a matter of fact, we did a soft start. The soft start was because there was a pre-existing tenant in that space that was a gym. It wasn't doing as well as they would have hoped. So the soft start was a little bit of a transition. For the last couple of months, we've been trying to figure out how we were going to make it work with the past tenant into us coming in as new tenants and owning it full on. And as of literally today, we are fully 100%, me and my business partners, the owner of what we call Real Elevation Coaching Center. And the gym piece is going to be myElevation Wellness. So yeah, that's us right there.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations, because
Yeah.
there's nothing better than working hard towards a goal and then seeing that vision come to life and really being able to celebrate it. So congratulations. That's huge.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of work. COVID definitely was an interesting time period as far as where's the world going and what do I see for myself and what do I see for my clients and what do I see as far as, you know, the future and my goals have. But I didn't derail, at least not too much. I didn't derail. I just kept faith and I kept praying, and you know, I was like, you know what, it's what I want to do and I'm gonna make it happen one way or another. So here we are, even a bigger picture than I even imagined. You know, it's great. It's amazing, blessed, happy to be here.
You also, didn't you start a juice, like part of the wellness part of that is nutrition and juicing and all of that. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I am a certified holistic nutrition coach, which means that I am certified in the perspective of understanding how having proper nutrition can positively impact the body as far as, I'm not going to say curing, but reversing effects of adverse diseases like cancer, diabetes, heart disease, lung disease, lots of things. So with that being said, I mean, little background, I always grew up drinking certain juices. My mom, my dad, they were always a little bit into their health and wellness to some degree. Well, but like we would juice, we'd make smoothies, we'd make papaya juice. They're island Caribbean folks, so we'd make certain juices at home and we'd be drinking certain juices. And so fast forward, getting that certification, I had an old business partner that I had back in the day that owned a juice bar. So for me and my own personal background and going in there and just helping him part-time a few hours a day, it was a family-owned business in West Hartford, just helping him a few hours a day, I really actually kind of learned the art of juicing. So while doing that, what I started doing was I kind of just started making my own little detox juice jars to sell to some of my clients and maybe people that weren't my clients that just, you know, wanted a little detox. And it just became a part of the wellness brand overall.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you do hold multiple certifications, which is impressive. How do those specialties kind of shape your approach to training and coaching, and how have they helped you like build your brand?
Honestly, that starts from a philosophical standpoint first. What do you believe in and what do you see yourself working in? And what is your perspective on health, wellness, or just fitness, or what is it you're trying to bring to the table? And like stretching, mobility, flexibility, proper nutrition. I've always just been into all those elements as just someone going to the gym, period. I remember dating a girl years ago. I'd be stretching in my living room. She'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm stretching. I'm like, I'd have a lacrosse ball and I'm like rolling out and she's like, you look crazy. I'm like, but it feels amazing. It's like really good for you. And a lot of people aren't really doing this. Like it's good, but just those things. Yeah.
It feels good afterwards. It doesn't
After.
necessarily feel good during.
For some of us crazy people, it feels good during too. But she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm stretching, I'm getting right, like, you know, getting myself together. So fast forward, understanding how important that was to not just the recovery aspect of wellness and physical training, I went and got certified in actually helping people become more mobile because I understood how hurt people were getting in the gym. I understood how nervous people were to start a gym program. So a great way to even start is your flexibility and mobility, just learning how to move your body and assess. some people can't come back to the gym because of injuries and things like that. So I was completely like, this is a great lane to help people in. And I didn't see a lot of people wanting to talk about that lane. Everybody was kind of just more on go, 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 or some people just wanted to do a lot of like heavy, crazy stuff, which is great. I've totally done my fair share of that and still do. But like, there's a market out there for people that just want to really feel good in their body. And I went for that market, and I'm continuing to go for that market.
I think that's so important because not everybody's going to be, a competitor. Not everybody's going to be, deadlifting 400 pounds, things like that. Especially for people who are like fighting illnesses or going through treatments or, things like that. Just to know that there are people out there that can help them in their whole recovery process, along with their physical like fitness journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I just kind of understood what my lane was. I understood that I got into fitness. It's never too late to get into fitness. I just understood when I got into it for myself, I was in my like mid 20s. So like as I was learning, a lot of the guys were already cranking and doing all the heavy stuff already. So by the time I wanted to really start doing a lot of the wild stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm like into my like 30s now. Like I might want to be a little careful doing some of this. And of course, I've had my fair share of the heavy lifting, but my overall perspective, your perspective in your 30s, 40s just isn't your perspective in your 20s and your teens, obviously. So just my perspective going into it just as an adult, I was like, well, this is where I am now. And, lifting the right way matters to me more than ever. Form matters to me more than ever. Making sure I'm not hurt matters to me more than ever. And that's what I was projecting onto my clients. And those were the people that I started to even attract, people that were like, hey, I want to work, I just don't want to get hurt. Or, hey, I was with this trainer, I got hurt, I don't want to get hurt. Hey, I really just want to know how to do this the right way. Can you help me do this the right way? And essentially, a lot of people, as they're coming in, yes, they want the results, but they're nervous because when they're watching this stuff on social media, it's like, whoa, you look so cool doing it. Like, you got great form. It's like, yeah, but all the years of doing it wrong has got me to that 12 seconds you just watched of me possibly doing it right. So how can I help you avoid 4, 5, 6 years of, muscle tissue damage or inflammation or muscular imbalances? I can help you actually do it right, which is where, again, we tie back into the mobility, flexibility, and some of the other holistic aspects that I've tied into myElevation Wellness.
You bring up a great point, and you and I have talked about this before, the role that social media plays for fitness professionals. I know you guys, all of you, just eye roll at some of the stuff that you see.
Yeah, the internet.
I'm sure people come in and they're like showing you pictures and these workout programs and stuff, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, the internet is an amazing highway of information. It's a great tool, but it's also, I'm going to use this word delicately, very entertaining. It's going to be very entertaining place. Entertaining. Okay, so I like to tell people, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. All this stuff it's all the same stuff. Yes, there's information out there like, hey, here's the best way to possibly do your Bulgarian split squat, or hey, your squat, hey, your chest press. But a lot of the stuff, the fundamentals do not change. It's just we get so caught up in, am I doing it right? And here's what this person's doing, or here's what worked for this person. We're all different people. Different things are going to work for different people. You know what I mean? And you just have to understand that everybody's going to do things their way. Everybody's going to see certain things their way. Everybody's going to use the internet how they see fit. It's also a very competitive place. I mean, I had to understand at one point too myself, what kind of person did I want to be on the internet? Am I going to be the guy that I'm interested in becoming an influencer. If that was the case, my content now might look a little differently. My perspective on that, I mean, I just wanted to make sure I was using the internet as a tool to actually help people, in particular, be a resource for the people that I'm helping and the people that I can help. And if I can't really ever really get to you, you came to my page, you saw something that was cool, you saw something that was informational, or you just love the vibes of me and my people. That was it.
Yeah. Well, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in growing your business, and how did you overcome them
I would probably
or are
say,
overcoming them?
yeah. Or are always overcoming the guy in the mirror. That's
Mm,
it. Yeah, always overcoming the guy in the mirror. You get to a place sometimes you're comfortable, or you get to a place where you're confused, or you get to a place where you're lost. I always say to myself that I think that one of the biggest things as just a business person or entrepreneur is uh, taking time to work with yourself and learn. Just that's just the big key. I think the growth of your business is also very codependent or just dependent on how much you're willing to grow personally.
mhm.
So if I can actually sit down and read something and not watch a whole bunch of Instagram mumbo jumbo, but maybe pay attention to things that are actually going to help me in my business and future help my clients, not only have I helped myself, I've now helped my business. So I would say overall, just making sure that I'm staying on top of things, uh, continuing to learn, and really just balance everything out. Sometimes I'm beating myself up too much. Like I look in the mirror and say, hey, you're doing a phenomenal job. Not everybody's waking up at 3:30 every day. You can pat yourself on the back for that. You're doing great. You're helping people. Take your time. Just slow it down. Take your time. Those were some of the biggest hurdles. Just looking at the guy in the mirror and either saying, hey, you're doing great, or hey, make sure you keep on going and you're checking in with yourself.
Mhm. I think that is like a small business owner. I know I personally struggle with this too. Like you feel like you have to be on 24/7. You want to answer everybody right away, or you go to bed at night. Did I do enough? Could I have done more? And you're right. You have to strike that balance and always be, willing to either no, I didn't do enough and tomorrow I'll do better, or you know what, today I did everything I can and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. Being happy with yourself, telling yourself you've done enough, or knowing when to tell yourself, okay, now's a good time to do a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's major key. Again, just having that good self perspective,
Yeah.
good introspection. I think that was sometimes the biggest part, and sometimes knowing who to even talk to as a friend or as a professional, just to be like, hey, like help, like where am I at? What's help? I need some perspective. I need some clarity.
Yeah.
So constantly developing the tools alone to help you develop proper clarity, develop projection, develop downtimes. All of that plays a part.
And get a mentor.
Get a mentor.
Get a mentor.
Definitely have one of those too, or mentors, or people that you just pay attention to consistently on a healthy basis that are gonna
Mm-hmm.
help you continue to build and do all the things you need to do. Because there's always going to be something to work on.
Yep.
There's always going to be something to work
100%.
on. There's always going to be something you could be doing better. There's always another post you could be putting up. There's always another workout program, initiative, challenge you could be putting together. But
Yeah.
are you doing it in the right time? Are you doing it effectively? Are you doing it right? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you tapped in with yourself? Are you happy? Are you rested? Are you still in love with what it is you're doing? So are you good? Just that self-check. Are we good? If you're good, 99.9% chance, I would say at this point in my career, my professional career, my entrepreneurial, am I saying that right? Entrepreneurship,
Entrepreneurial.
entrepreneurial career. Just making sure you're good. Just make sure you're good. And if you're happy, then the business is happy.
I had a friend say the best like little phrase to me, and I think about it all the time, and it is always invite, never force.
That was
Isn't
good. I
that
like that
so
one.
good?
That's a really good one. Always invite, never force. That's good.
Yep.
Because what's for you is gonna be for you. You invite good things, and then like if something comes your way, well, and it doesn't work out, or it's just not in the best, interest of you, you'll know, okay, that's not really gonna work for me, but I'm glad I could learn from it what I needed to learn from it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, how do you define elevation in the context of health and wellness?
Oh, that's a good question. When people ask me that, or they kind of get tripped up by my answer because it's not a superficial answer.
That's okay.
It's a very internal answer, and it's really about your internal frequency and how you're vibrating and how you can help yourself, how you see yourself in space, and how you can help others vibrate in space. So in myElevation, it's height above a given level where everybody wants to go to the gym and be strong, look good. That's kind of the easy part. The
Mm-hmm.
hard part is learning, is being humble, is asking questions, is showing up for yourself every day, is being consistent. If you can at least have a respect to those things, right? In line, like, okay, I'm showing up, I'm just working, and some people come up to you and be like, hey dude, you're killing it. You're like, oh well, thanks. I'm just showing up for myself. I'm just working hard. I'm just trying. But that light that you bring, you bring, and just the respects that you have towards your own internal frequency allows others to look at you and want to work on themselves and be better. Now you've in turn made a greater impact on the ecosystem because you wanted to just do better for yourself. Not just selfishly. I mean, yeah, there's a selfish part of it, sure. But if you can at least say, hey, you know what? I want to just be better in general, then others will gravitate towards that as well. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
myElevation is all about. If I can come here and be a better person for myself, I can be of better service to others in the same token.
I love that.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, we've all experienced this where whether it's gym places, like you see the same people, and all of a sudden one of those people that you see all the time isn't around anymore. And one day you're like, I haven't seen that person in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's our presence does make an impact.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
I believe
I
that
mean,
wholeheartedly.
yeah, I've gotten a few text messages. Shout out to Lightning Fitness. Lightning Fitness was a place I was able to be for like a 3 years solid. 3 years. I did 3 years over there. And I get messages now from people saying, "Man, like you're not here. It don't feel the same. Like I hope you're good." And I'm like, and I'm so focused on what I'm doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, hey, I hope you're good. And sometimes it's from people that you didn't even know or think would you made an impact on. But like I've had people come to me like, hey, it was just awesome coming in here every morning and seeing those young ladies working out every morning at 5 or 6 in the morning. Like it just motivated me. It just felt good to be around that. And just them working on themselves made me want to work on myself. And I just felt like I was a part of what you had going on, even though I wasn't 100% there, but like it was just good light that you shined while you were there. So shout out to some of those people. Shout out to Lightning. Yeah.
Well, your energy was always fun. You're always yelling at your people and making fun of them and making them laugh and making everybody around you laugh. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
I can
yeah.
speak to the truth. You are definitely missed there.
Oh, thank you. And you guys are missed as well. I owe it a visit. You'll see me soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know your brand is more than just, physical fitness. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of mental and spiritual wellness in your work?
Oh, absolutely. So, a couple of the gentlemen that I've partnered with are also even one entity is a life coach entity, and one entity is a counseling and therapy entity. And the mental health aspect to it is huge. I mean, gosh, there's so many angles you could take on this, but being able to, some people go to the gym as a source of therapy, but some people get stuck in a rut because the superficial part of it is the easiest part. They don't really figure out that you got to tap into what's going on inside mentally and figure out, okay, like I got to play that piece of it too to even get over the next hurdle. I got into this for sure myself as somebody who was looking for something to balance themselves out with whatever was going on in my personal life. So because I didn't just get caught up in, I've completely, like, it allowed me time to sit and even reflect on those things as well. It allowed me time to work on myself. It allowed me time to just develop and be committed to something myself. So the mental health portion and the mental health aspect, it's a big key. A lot of people come into the gym, or a lot of people come into personal training programs because they're looking for that, or they're looking for a sense of community, or they're looking for love, they're looking for fellowship, they're looking for guidance, they're looking for family, or they're just looking to just be better, or they're looking to overcome something, or it's a form of meditation, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But the meditation can be taken for granted in a way. You just always have to bring it back holistically. There's got to be a little bit of that holistic piece, in my opinion, that says, hey, like, I did something good for myself today, as opposed to, well, yeah, I pumped up. Yeah, it's kind of how you get some of those people. They don't ever just do the internal work, but if you can do a little bit of the internal work, it'll go a long way. If you can at least say, hey, this is just something I gave to myself today. I just shook off some stress. I bettered myself. I challenged myself. I gave myself some time. I mean, we're so bombarded with work and family and social media and whatever else is going on in the world. What are you really giving to yourself? What are you really doing to better yourself? What are you really doing for your overall health? What are you really doing just to breathe, just to be better? It doesn't even have to be the weights. It doesn't have to be training. It could have been yoga. It could have been, I like to hike. I tell people, your fitness could be whatever. I don't care. Like, movement, tapping in with yourself, and movement is the key. And the reflection that comes with after and before is key. So it matters. It's a big piece. It matters. Bringing it in, realizing what you did for yourself, not just did I lift this or did I push that today? Like, no, hey, I did that for me today. I'm happy, and I can go out there and be good with myself, and in turn be good for others.
Yeah, I love that. When you were talking about community, one segment of the kind of population that I always think about that needs it the most but gets overlooked the most is our seniors. And like, there's not a lot of places where they can go and feel comfortable and good to get a workout that's really created, for them. A lot of times can afford it, but they don't even know how to start. They don't know where to go. They don't know exactly what they need. And so I too am always thinking about, how can I maybe help this population of people, because I just think that they just, as I'm getting older, I start thinking about these things more and more. And I love seeing older people in the gym.
I love seeing it too. I think my oldest client, she's definitely retired. I've been working with her for about 8 years. I've got a few retired friends that I have as clients, and they're like, I've always had friends that were a little older than me because I love wisdom. I love to learn. So it's always been appealing to me.
You're an old soul.
I am. I definitely am. Like, I listen to music and play things in the gym. People are like, yo, what is this? I'm like, it's disco. You never heard of disco? You never heard of 80s pop? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love this stuff. But I've always admired wisdom. So helping those people for sure has always been a central part of what I do and what I believe in, because it's a great market of people to help and to work with. For one,
Mhm.
for two, they love community. They love being around good people. They love good energy, love good vibes. I mean, then there's just always just so much they have to say. There's always so much you can learn. There's always so much you can bypass talking to somebody that can help you out. Like, why wouldn't you want to talk to them? So that for me was
Yeah.
just always like, I had to find a way to help them. And that's also another reason why becoming a stretching and flexibility coach was a part of it, because that's an audience that oftentimes, because of the muscular atrophy that's happening, or just not being able to lift as much, being able to move, good range of
Mhm.
motion and flexibility, that's a big piece. And they're sometimes getting, they get hurt, and people go for surgery, and they're going in for things. And that's a great audience to just help from that perspective. So, they matter. And I
Yeah.
love them. I love them so much.
And they're usually really funny.
They're really funny. That really great outlook on life.
They
Really
do.
funny. Like, it's great.
They
There
always have
might,
like the best advice, the best philosophy. Like, you don't get
right.
hung up on the small stuff.
Yeah.
I do. I love them.
They bring you back home every time. I mean, I seen you.
Mhm.
You were eating cookies on your Instagram the other day. I got one that brings me cookies sometimes. And sometimes I tell her, look, I can't eat these till Friday or Saturday, but some free cookies or some free baked goods come out of that too. So it's cool. It's cool.
And it probably brings her or him joy to bring them. So
Boom, and there's that. And
yeah,
there's that piece.
it gives them purpose.
I'm happy that I could be here for you to test your new recipe.
Mhm. Exactly. Well, how do you stay grounded and inspired as an entrepreneur in the wellness space, which we know is pretty saturated?
Hmm. Uh, you know, things are always changing. Things are always changing, but you can never stop learning.
Mm,
So if you know what it is your purpose is, and you know what it is you're good at, and you know what it is you're here to provide, there's always a different way, or there's always various ways to provide it. So even as time changes, as it always will, there's always a way to do more, to do better, to give back more. There's always things to learn. For example, stretching and flexibility. I'll be at home just watching stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, I know I like it, I know I love it, so I'll watch it, and I'll find new innovative ways to bring it to my community. So that
mhm.
in turn creates a cycle of inspiration from me to them and back around. And then when I see how impactful it was, it's like, okay, cool, that worked. Let's do another one. Let's do something else. Fitness, whatever it is, with functional training, or there's different ideas. Not everybody's always going to be doing something the same. Somebody might bring back an old school concept. Somebody might come up with, or have discovered, or introduce, or reintroduce a newer perspective. Somebody might say, hey, you might want to check into this old school Eastern medicine vibe thing that you might have overlooked. It's like, whoa, this is like, there's just always something to learn. Understand that I don't want to be the master of everything. I don't want to do
Yeah.
everything. Like, I'm happy with what I know until I want to know something else. So you just work at what it is that you're doing. Work at your craft. A doctor can always be learning. A lawyer can always be learning. You know what I mean? A teacher can always be learning. There's always something to learn until
Mhm.
it's like, I'm ready to just learn something else that I can bring to the table. But it's always gonna come back full circle, because I just love what it is I do, and I'm seeking to amplify and elevate my community. So once I see that certain things work, okay, right now they're loving the community stuff. What else can I bring to the table to the community? Or right now they're loving good personal challenges. What can I bring to them to challenge them personally? Whether it's through the stretching and flexibility, whether it's through the personal training, whether I have to amplify more corrective exercises, whether it's a detox challenge. You know what I mean? Like, what lanes? These are just lanes. These are just a way, communication highways to you.
Mhm. I like that.
Mhm.
Well, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to turn their passion into a business? Doesn't even have to be wellness.
My advice to someone that's trying to turn their passion into a business: continue to stay passionate, because your passion is going to take you to where it is you need to go. Look into your passion, tap into your passion. On those harder days, your passion is going to be what gets you through. On those amazing days, your passion is going to help soar you through the roof and bring you back in even higher than the day before. So stay locked in on your passion. There was a lot of days where it's hard days. It's running a business. There were days I didn't really want to do this anymore, but there was always one person, literally, there's always at least one person that would come back around and say, hey, I just want you to know that you really are like making an impact and you're really changing my life. And I really want you to understand that. And I wouldn't ask them. I'm great at not really fully showing my emotions. I do wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit, but like, I'm not going to tell you I'm having a bad day, but like that person might just be like, hey, like, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate you. Here's these cookies, or maybe, hey, high five, dude. Like, yo, I was having a really rough week. I'm glad you're here. And when you hear that and you get in your car and you're driving off, or you hear that and that person's leaving your gym, that is, for me as an entrepreneur and a business owner, enough to say, I think I'm in the right place. Let me push a little bit more. Today might not be a great day for me, but let me push a little bit more. And just tapping into that a little bit will make it a great week, a great month, a great quarter, a great year.
Yeah, that's solid advice.
Chase purpose. Don't chase money. Chase purpose.
That's right.
Everything else comes after. Chase that purpose.
I'm a big fan of Patrice Washington, who said that quote. And she has an amazing story. So shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
Well, my last question, and then we're going to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. So what's next for myElevation Wellness? Are there any projects or goals that you're excited about, you want to talk about, share?
Absolutely. So this June, right now, for this June, off the top of my head, we got a Hustle and Hydrate challenge. I'm doing a step challenge combined with a water drinking challenge. We had the water challenge before. We had the step challenge before. Right now, we're just combining a little challenge, those two challenges together, to make it even bigger and have more fun. And also continue to emphasize the importance of not just coming to the gym, but drinking water and moving outside of the gym. Okay. Yeah. So we got that going on. What else is happening? I'm tapping in with my partners. We're creating more initiatives as far as the mental health aspects that we just talked about. We have a men's group that we got going on. If anybody's interested in that, we have a women's support group going on. If anybody's interested in that, we have a teen support group. If anybody's interested in that, we have counseling, therapy, and life coaching. If anybody's interested in that. So wellness, not just on the outside, but focusing on the internal frequency and vibration, making sure you're the best version of yourself holistically. We got lots of lanes going on for that. So there's a lot of different things happening right now all at once. But the easiest thing I could say is, man, come down to the gym, come to a boot camp. All right. Come check us out. 45 minutes of boot camp. We got different things that we work on different days. Right now, I'm just focused on, just continuing to build a brand, pump up the business, work with my partners on how many different highways of communication and help I can establish, or we can establish together, to get to the people. And we got this little challenge that we're doing for the month of June. So yeah, if anybody's checking in on watching this right here, right now, June 1st is what we're doing. I don't know when this is going to be out, but whenever you hear this, there's always something going on at myElevation Wellness and at the Rec. So yeah, come check us out.
I was going to say, you offer something fun every month.
Yeah.
And I have done many of your workouts, and they are very challenging and very fun. One thing that I really love that I noticed that you started doing is a men's only class on Saturday morning, or men's only group. So I think that's awesome. And that's at 8 a.m. on Saturdays?
8 a.m. on Saturdays. The fellas come tap in 8 a.m. on Saturdays. Ladies, you're 7 a.m. on Saturdays. Okay. And it's big because a lot of times the fellas, we kind of, for me, I had a personal trainer at one point in my life. And that came about because I had a friend that was just like, yo, come see my trainer. Come see my trainer. And as a dude, I'm like, man, I know what I'm doing. I don't need no trainer. I know what I'm doing. But I went and I was like, whoa, like that's a workout. Like that's a workout. So you got to put it there for guys to understand, like, hey, this is a great safe space for guys to not just work out, but to tap in with other fellas, talk what we want to talk about, connect, link. You know what I mean? The ladies, naturally, they gravitate towards little pockets of communities more. Fellas, we do need safe spaces for ourselves too. It's important because if you good, they say happy wife, happy life, but if you're happy too, the household, it's gonna show through in whatever else it is you got going on in life. So come check us out. It's about an hour workout. We call it Fit 55 with the fellas, 55 minutes. It's going to help not just your health and your wellness, but you're just going to feel like an overall better person for that day. And it's going to, it'll help. It's going to help in a lot more ways than one.
So just do it, people. Just
do it, people. It's going to help, man. It's going to help. It's going to help. It's going to help. Get in motion. Come on, let's go.
Well, shout out your Instagram and your website where people can find you.
Woo, okay, let's do this. So you guys can find me at www.myelevationwellness.com, or you can type in www.themookeffect.com. My Instagram is at myElevationWellness. My Facebook page is myElevation Wellness. My TikTok is myElevation Wellness. My LinkedIn, I think it's just Mook Theodore. You guys, I'm not hard to find. Check me out. All right. I think if you Google myElevation Wellness, you'll find us. We're located at 169 Low Ray Place in Newington, Connecticut. Come check us out. We got a lot going on. I can't even go over all the stuff we got going on. I'm so excited. We got a lot going on. It's a lot going on. And it's a lot that's going to keep going on. And that's how I like to keep it. So yeah, come check us out.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for being part of the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you. I love what you're doing. This is great.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm glad to bring people like you on to share powerful stories.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.